Yo, like I said, we are gonna have our technical difficulties. Things are gonna happen. I don't know why the live just got cut off, but it did. And we were talking about Mansa Musa. We gonna bring it back live. Welcome to the second half. And if you know anything about anything, it always gets better in the second half.
And Chad. For those not familiar with the Mali Empire and Mansa Musa I, here's a short flip through their history. The Mali Empire dates back from 1230 to 1670, which makes up almost 500 years of battles, conquests, problems, prosperity, and so on. They were the largest African empire and the main influence of the whole West African region. At their peak, the Mali Empire, or Madin as some call them, ruled over regions or parts of modern-day Mauritania, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, and Chad. They developed over time, starting out as a small city along the Niger River, and quickly took over lands and cities to establish one of the biggest Islamic empires of Africa. Nowadays, the remnants of what the Mali Empire used to be can be found in books, some traditions, culture, and architecture. Number 2. He conquered over 24 cities. Mansa Musa took the throne after his predecessor died. He was the first ruler from the Lay lineage and the man that established the empire as a true Islamic state. However, he did not force or impose anyone to adopt the faith he believed in. His entire adult life was dedicated to his job as emperor, ruler, and conqueror. In order to keep the empire at bay and stable, he conquered over 24 cities in 10 countries from West Africa. His military actions were intense at some times and very consistent. He seized quite a bit of the region, including some parts of the Sahara Desert, so you can imagine his kingdom was rich, and with that land and wealth, everyone started to learn about him. Fast forward hundreds of years into 2018, and we still remember him. Other than Napoleon, Julius Caesar, or Alexander the Great, there are not many men out there that conquered so many cities. Number 3. He founded the first university in the region. As we mentioned before, Mansa Musa was not your typical emperor. He made sure that his kingdom was prosperous, safe, and large. He was an avid Islamic believer, but at the same time,
That was an alert that I like to send off just to make sure that you're listening, that we're all still in sync. If you didn't know where you're at, you are in the house with Native Son. We're going to keep sending that off until I see some likes or some hearts. I'm going to keep peeking. No, I'm playing. But thank you for tuning in. If you didn't know what we're doing, we're talking Mansa Musa, 15 things you didn't know. We'll probably let a good 5 of those run. We'll get back into a little bit more music, jump into a little Q&A, a little who knows. Just stay tuned. We rocking in the house with Native Son.
With Muslim students coming from around Africa and the Middle East. They had the largest collection of books in Africa since the Library of Alexandria burned, with over 1 million manuscripts and the capacity of housing 25,000 students. Number 4. His empire was the largest gold producer in the world. With great knowledge and power comes great fortune. The Mali Empire had a huge advantage of residing along the Niger River and the Niger Delta. Every successful empire started out with a good river, because water means life, food, and trade. That's exactly what they did to prosper. They traded salt and gold to others while growing crops and sustaining life. By the time he became the emperor of Mali and began conquering more and more territories, more and more people had already heard about him and his kingdom. With a good location and opening up to the Atlantic Ocean, they managed to turn Mali into one of the biggest trading regions in the world. They were selling gold and salt at a time where Europe was struggling to obtain and hold both of them. Opportunity surely was their best weapon. Number 5. He became the richest man to ever live, with a net worth of over $400 billion. Trading with gold and owning so much land made Mansa Musa the richest emperor of the Mali Empire and the richest man that ever lived. His wealth is estimated to have been around $400 billion, which is 4 times the net worth of Jeff Bezos, the richest man today. Some people consider him the richest man in the world because most sources from that time ranked him that way. We'll never precisely know if he was really that rich or not. It's kind of impossible. But keeping in mind all the achievement we listed so far, it doesn't seem that far-fetched. I mean, just wait until you hear about the extravagant things he did and how he traveled, and you be the judge of his fortune. Number 6. Like all big people in history, he had some famous and loved by many people. You're bound to have a couple of haters.
My fault. I told you we were only going to do 5 things. That was 6 things. We had to get into it. We're getting intimate. We're sitting here with the GOATs themselves, Hash and Show, talking about year of the GOAT, 2020. For many, it ain't brought plenty, but for some, it has enriched them in ways beyond their wildest imagination. Some people have had the time to actually sit down and do what they would be doing if they could be doing what they would be doing because they have the time. Now, we're not saying that we enjoy the fact that there is a pandemic. And if you didn't know, in the beginning of the episode, we played a song titled Shelter in Place that kind of lets you know what the atmosphere is like right now for us from our perspective. Wherever you're watching at, whenever this is viewed, because this could be viewed 100 years from now, we don't know how they're going to compile their information in Facebook. I assure you, anything played on this show, we own or we do have permission to play. We have people that tune in from all over the world, and we want to continue to edutain them, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. So everybody checking in, you know, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, you know what I mean, if you know what's going on, Hash, Show. So we're going to go into a quick Q&A. I wanted to reproach this question we had. We're talking Mansa Musa. We're talking about being Muslim. We're talking about Dini al-Islam. We're talking about Surat al-Mustaqim. Hash, I want to hear your comments, your description about that first and foremost. Please, my brother.
Well, you know, we all try to walk on the Sirat al-Mustaqim when you Muslim, man. And, you know, the meaning of Muslim is just one who submits his self to the will of God. You know what I'm saying? And I think Islam is a beautiful thing myself. So, and that's what I believe in. So that's what I practice.
So, for those that may be viewing and not understand why you had to say, that is what I practice, I'd like to highlight that real quick, because that's one thing, especially when we mention Deen, Ni al-Islam, Deen meaning way, your way of life. So this way, it's very important. Your practice, your day-to-day, what you do second by second. Give the people some of the things that you do in order to ensure that you are successful. And then my brother Show, if you could as well, give the people some things that you do daily in order to maintain yourself within a state we call success.
I think the biggest thing that balances me out on a day-to-day as far as like obtaining any type of success is when I make my 5 salats a day. And that's what I try to strive for every day.
What up, what up, what up? Just so you know, I am 100% Christian, but I love my Muslim brother. We the same, of course. And what I do is definitely maintain my relationship with the higher power, which is God, and put that first in everything that I do, and the rest falls into place.
Two people meet and they feel a kind of relationship.
Forgive me while I swing the mic back and forth. If you're just tuning in and didn't know, we're in the house with Hash and Show talking about Year of the GOAT. That's YOTG. It just dropped not too long ago, 2 days prior, I believe on the 25th. On the 25th, it dropped, Year of the GOAT. If you have a streaming service, go ahead and listen to it. You know, we are dealing with professionals. We have our own platforms, our own music. Shout out to my guy, Infrared in the building. Lee, what's happening? I have a song called Still Tainted. I don't know if you've ever heard it. He did make that beat. Red made that beat. Shout out to my guy, one of my favorite songs to perform and to listen to this day. You know, we just got done talking about Surat al-Mustaqim. The brother Hash expressed to you that, you know, lightly, it's his belief system. It's what he practices. We talked to Show. He said, yo, I'm Christian, just to make it clear, but I respect my Muslim brother. And that's all love and respect. Whatever you believe in it. And let it enrich you. and use that interpretation and that discipline in order to drive you forward into good works and things that will maintain you throughout life, because ultimately that's our focus. When you are in the house with Native Son, it is a place of healing. It's like welcome to the hospital without the hospital. You know what I'm saying? With good music and a few things like that. We're in the building discussing stuff. We're talking about our love of the Most High. We have company in the building that came with Hash, since we're talking love and relationships, some people may have discovered new love during this time. Some people may have had to say goodbye to old love. Some people may have had to adjust their love. Some people may feel like they found that one vital person, that one soulmate that will forever hold them down or hold them together. Some people don't believe in that, and they just give a lot of soul and have a lot of mates, so it's either way that you look at it, love is important. And since we're talking about love and we got Hash and Show in the building and it's Year of the Goat, let's just see what's happening with Hash and Show Soulmates.
And the reason I believe that is because the Talmud refers to soulmates, right? But how to know who is one's soulmate, that I don't have any formula for that, right? Sometimes you find that two people meet and they feel a kind of relationship.
I'm like, good morning, my beautiful. See, I'm thinking about you, it be the usual. See, I'm motivated by a thought of losing you. Can never handle being apart, that's why I'm choosing you. When I think about forever, I'm including you. And I ain't trying to complicate what you used to. Believe me when I say I ain't trying to confuse you. Really hoping any of what I'm saying to move you. I got no time for no metaphors. I got a crown for that head of yours. Plus, if I can be sure of anything, I'm pretty sure you would consider me a king. See, I ran into a love I could feel still. And plus, my granny say you know it when you know it's real. Communication is captivating, you have appeal. Marvelous that we are together, communicating still. I dipped my ink with an old feather. I had a thought, so I wrote a letter. I let the breeze take it to who know me better. Plus I know she ain't acclimated to this cold weather. Throughout the winter, spring, summer, and the fall, through all 4 seasons, you are the reason. I really mean I'm being with you through it all. You give me reason for breathing. I'm hoping you believe in us. I'm sorry for my awkwardness, but heaven can't be far from this. I said I'm sorry for my awkwardness, but heaven can't be too far from this.
And sometimes it can only be explained, as some people do, in a previous reincarnation we were together. Well, those are concepts that you may believe in, you may not believe in.
Hope I'm not sounding lame, but without you I'm not the same. I got problems settling down, cause these women be playing games, but she covered up and still see her bubble butt. And I stay in trouble with her, cause I'm always cutting up. But shawty gon' hold me down, and I'll always lift her up. We Mr. and Mrs. Mustafa, life looking different for us. The fact that we pray together is likely we'll stay together. I love the euphoric feeling I feel when we lay together. Hope I feel this way forever. She said I'ma make it better. We laugh and we play together, we grind and we chase the cheddar. She mine and she make me better, at least when I'm feeling pressure. Got beef, she gon' bring the pepper. My lady, my love forever. Whenever you need me, just call. I'll be there speeding and all. At first you were leading me on and pleading for me to be gone. And now she gon' beg me to stay addicted. She fiend when I'm gone. Imagine your life without me, no reason for breathing at all.
But I do believe there's such a thing as soulmate, but hard-pressed to tell anybody how to go find their soulmate.
Fashion Show Soulmates. If you got a soulmate, or you're looking for a soulmate right now, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit some likes. Let me see some hearts. Let me see something float across here. Comments. What's happening? How you feeling? What you're doing? Let the people know. Hey, I'm looking for a soulmate. I had to give it to him one good time. However we got to get it to him, we're going to keep him edutained, directing this straight to your brain, doing our thing, because ain't nothing strange. We trying to maintain in the house with Native Son. Earlier I mentioned Brother Infrared had produced a beat for me. I made a track. It was titled Still Tainted. While we listen to this track, Hash and Show are going to prepare to perform live for you. I'm going to get everything up for them so they can prepare live for you. But back to this track, Still Tainted, produced by Infrared, originally out of Wichita, Kansas. Currently reside in Junction City, Kansas. Shout out to the Junk. Made the song. Things happened. Took some delay. Started my business, but brought this song to the forefront. Whenever I perform, I make sure I do perform it. It's called Still Tainted. I'm tired of talking about it. You listen for yourself and tell me what you
You can't possibly...
Native Son. For my time, I wasn't ready. I don't blame nobody. Dry your tears, the struggle's clear and you can't save nobody. Self-medicate, your mind straight, could that save your body? Niggas fake, the police hate, it's only trace and copy. So many squares up on the block, you could play Monopoly. Pass go, stay out of jail, buy your house and property. Only training was the entertainment. Will I sustain against the arrangement of obstacles thrown my way? It's the main concern. I ain't worried about famous, preserving with patience. Weight on my chest, the size of a freight ship. My emotions run like an ocean or the seas these Vikings try to play with. Personal space, it's treaties and sanctions, bananas and ape shit, demons and angels, so don't get too anxious. Cause anyone who is makeshift, just know the atmosphere may shift. Preparation. You are in the house with Native Son. What you listen to is the track I got called Still Tainted. Just stay the same, man. Everybody just kept on blaming. Come about it, but still tainted. It's still tainted. I recognize that it's changing. I can picture, I can obtain it. Space and time for an awakening. You can't do it cause you're tainted. You're still tainted. Hard work's like a piece of artwork. Strength and technique until your legs and your arms hurt. Body and headaches, palms blister. You can feel that earthquake. Sister can't wait till she figures how she gon' get the cover charge and train. Hands calloused, you can feel it in the handshake. Right when you could afford it comes another corporate mandate. Get rich quick, scheming on the next trick. Blue or white collar, still cleaning red lipstick. Stay down, now you're headed upstate for a short stint. All about the cash, but for now your ass wishes it was simply sitting on some porcelain. While it drier than a strip of pork skin. Don't consume the pig, it can be assumed. Currency is the only courtesy to approach with. It matters of importance. Do you exude rich or poor sense? Cause the scene is changing. Would you rather it just stay the same, man? Everybody just kept on blaming. Come about it, but still tainted. It's still tainted. I recognize that it's changing. I can picture, I can obtain it. Space and time for an awakening. You can't do it cause you're tainted. You're still tainted. The world sickens, the plot thickens, your heart stiffens, and it's hard to regard the partitions of partisans. Whether you involve yourself in it, it seems like infinite, intended to end in 10 minutes. Anxiety, how do we arrive at the current lack of apathy? Conquest of geography, staying on point, establish a bottom line, figuring the angle, label social geometry. Shake the posture on impostures with no tolerance for partial or possibly increasing industry, injuring our environment. Who cares what the cost will be? Only if we could cry again. Thought he was the ultimate to the most I reminded him. Just another cell up in your cellular phone, homie. Remember used to roam without a cellular phone, homie. Strong sense of self in the youth weren't so long. Cause the saying is changing. Would you rather it just stay the same, man? Shout out to Infrared. Everybody just produced this beat, man. Come about it, but still tainted. Still tainted. I recorded this in Wichita, Kansas at New Life Studios. Shout out to my guy Ballistics with New Life Studio. They've recorded such people as Kevin Gates, the guy T-Rail. If you are in Wichita, Kansas and you need to record, make sure you get out to New Life.
All minor and major mentions. It's all love. What up, New Life? Appreciate it. One.
Now that was 100. I need money. I'm still running. We still gunning. You look funny. I'm just playing. Go ahead and throw some emojis up. So let's talk about what's going on with your life. Let's take a moment to commune. This is a community. You are in the house, a literal house with Native Son. We got Hash and Show. They're getting ready to perform for you. They sent me a couple tracks. I gotta look those up. In the meantime, while I look those particular tracks up, because I was not prepared as I should be, so put that on me. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and put that on me. I'm going to jump into here. I'm going to look for one more track from the album that I can spin. They weren't expecting it, but I got to do it. I got to ask y'all, are you going to do See What I See?
Yeah, we're going to do See What I See.
They're going to do See What I See. Oh, okay. So let me scroll. Let me scroll and check. Let me look. Shout one out that you think, all right. So easy layup. It's an easy layup. It's an easy layup. Can I get one thrown to me? Look, see, they answered the question without answering the question. Hash and Show, year to go. If you ain't checked out the project, we've played a few songs. I feel great. I feel amazing about it. I don't know about you, gentlemen. I do appreciate you for stopping through. I do appreciate you for taking the time to take some time to put some peace on the people's mind because, you know, things are getting difficult and it ain't too easy to relax and recline, and every now and again we may need that easy layup. Hash and Show
please everyone, and that's when the problems begin.
Hash and Show.
My nigga 2 for the dope, these other niggas basic. Ha! You know I get the bag, easy layup. Pull a bad bitch, easy layup. All my diamonds hit, easy layup. New Mercedes Benz, easy layup. You know I get the bag, easy layup. Pull a bad bitch, easy layup. All my diamonds hit, easy layup. New Mercedes Benz, easy layup. Hey. I'm a motherfucking player. Bustin' down, then I'm out, bitch, stay up. I'm on my grind, ain't got no time to be late up. Money on my mind, middle finger to you haters. I just do it how I'm supposed to do it. Red bandana, call the gang, yo. Pinky ring shining like the city lights. Put them Giovanni's on the foreign, now it's sitting right. Nice. 10th to Calhoun, I made my first styles. Real nigga, give a fuck what you heard about. False allegations hurt a nigga pride. Kept it realer than the mother niggas, yet I'm vilified. Homicidal thoughts cross a nigga mind. If be detrimental to my son, I go and do some time. Never ran the point cause I ain't dropping dimes. Quick to put a nigga in his place, you ever cross the line. You know I get the bag, easy layup. Pull a bad bitch, easy layup. All my diamonds hit, easy layup. New Mercedes Benz, easy layup. You know I get the bag, easy layup. Pull a bad bitch, easy layup. All my diamonds hit, easy layup. New Mercedes Benz, easy layup.
My nigga, we are not the same. We are very different. Down court for the easy layup. I be cherry picking. Homie, I be on point. I'm a regular Derek Fisher. Tell my nigga I got it, homie, then I'ma share it with you. I got a mortgage, I'm pretty sure it's important that I keep on top of whatever's helping me to afford it. I see you out of character, homie, you out of orbit. Moving everything illegal with nothing to show for it. We are not the same. You do it for reputation. But I do it when I gotta, depending on what I'm facing. But I probably do a lot of it on a day-to-day basis. Rain, snow, sleet, hail, every element I can take it. Plus everything I put in my rapping I can't make up. You a light body, homie, should probably get your weight up. If you owe me anything, I'ma recommend that you pay up. When you put me on the beat, I'm defining the easy layup.
You know I get the bag, easy layup. Pull a bad bitch, easy layup. All my diamonds hit, easy layup. New Mercedes Benz, easy layup. You know I get the bag, easy layup. Pull a bad bitch, easy layup. All my diamonds hit, easy layup. New Mercedes Benz, easy layup.
Hash and Show. Easy layup. Easy layup. If they was feeling sleepy, let me tell you right now, they just brought the energy levels up with an easy layup. Hash and Show, we appreciate you for coming through. We're going to go ahead and jump into the first performance track that you got here for me. I'm getting it loaded up for the people. If you just jumped into the house with Native Son and didn't know where you was at, let me tell you, you're in the house with one NATVSON 1.live if you want to live. You already know what it is. We just trying to do it. We don't gotta necessarily do it big. We just keeping it together, and that's forever, baby. We just rocking right now. I'm pulling up this beat for these people. I'm really good at wasting time and blibbery blabbering. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I can assure you that the music's about to start. These gentlemen are ready to perform. They was like, look, man, listen, when we ready to eat, we need you to move around because we going to make sure it's complete. We got 9 people in the building. That's born. That's word. You already know what we got to do. We cannot be deterred or disturbed. Let's make sure that everything's sounding all
Musa
right.
was well known in his kingdom and throughout Africa. He was rich, fierce, powerful, and a luxury lover. He always traveled in style, wearing the finest and most expensive clothing. In his pilgrimage to Mecca, he stayed in Egypt where he spent a lot of money and caused some serious damage. Besides that, he almost feuded with the Sultan al-Nasir because Mansa Musa was too critical of him. Nothing bad happened between them, but they were both close to bursting. Keep in mind that diplomacy and religion never play nicely together. Number 7. His massive fortune was dismantled after 2 generations. When you have as much money as Mansa Musa had, over $400 billion, it seems impossible to spend it all. No matter how much you build and travel, there are still billions to spend, and if you invest that money, like most rich people do, the net worth is bound to grow year after year. However, unfortunately for Mansa Musa's descendants, the fortune was somehow dismantled in less than 100 years. The 2 generations that followed him weren't able to control their spending, the wars and invasions that followed, so it all went downhill. After his pilgrimage, it's no surprise that everyone came upon them to get their hands on the gold, especially Europeans, which were facing harsh famine and poverty at the time. Number 8. The date of his death is still unknown. Mansa Musa was the 10th ruling sultan of the Mali Empire. He was a beloved emperor and one of the most important figures in the history of the continent. A dedicated Muslim, he brought in many Arab storytellers and historians to have their story written for prosperity and generations to come.
1, 2.
The biggest problem with this was that his death date is now unknown, or at least debatable.
Yo, we about to go live.
Man, you're the GOAT, man. Make sure you go on whatever streaming platform you use to stream your music to stream that.
Some say it was right
Add these songs to your playlist.
Multiple sources.
Check out our new video, Won't Change, man. You see it all on my Facebook page, man. Check that shit out. It's powerful.
Let's play.
Street fame in the building.
Yeah. Joint here's called Mike Jackson. Check me out, check me out. See me and Hash controlling the radio you listen to. A square never finding a circle that it could fit into. When it come to rapping, nobody rapping to mention you. And I can tell from what I am hearing, rapping ain't meant for you.
Like Kobe come through in the clutch, I spit visuals. Went from hand scaling the work to buying digitals. I'm scientific, rhyme different, move pivotal. I'm dope like the chickens in the verses I've been giving you.
I moonwalk all over you rappers, a smooth criminal.
Quick to tell a bitch to beat it if I ain't feeling you.
Feel it was necessary to give you music to listen to.
But on the contrary, it's necessary to kill him too.
Flatline, give you perfection each time I rap lines. Practice on the daily, preparing for the exact time. The fire we creating is running into a gas line. Lately I've been feeling like rap is falling on bad times. Heavyweight, call it each day, murder rappers on wax. I rhyme and I levitate way up in the sky until I approach heaven's gate. 7 on the match, my nigga, I'm winning 7 straight. This ain't nothing new, my nigga, I do this every day. Go and get your crew or whoever, bet I'ma set them straight. Whoever want what, whoever, my nigga set a date. Whoever want what, whoever, my nigga set a date.
My shit's mean, started charging niggas for 16s. Came a long way from them bottom feeders and Billie Jeans.
Michael Jackson Thriller, cause I'm a monstrous MC.
Black and red jacket, just like I stepped out of 83.
Now we can get it Bracken or Colin Kaepernick take a knee.
Or we can get the snap in your vertebrae on this vacant street.
Either way, we running this rap shit, ain't no vacancy.
If you my competition for rapping, I'm in the place to be.
Heavyweight, major league.
I'm Barry Bonds, 216.
Quick to put whoever in their place for the fuckery.
Enough of me. Whoever got problems should get in touch with me. Thinking it's a problem that half of you couldn't crush the beat.
I'm thinking it's a problem, your lady can't get enough of me. She love the way I whip the Mercedes, I'm living comfortably.
1,000 thread count on the comforter, use the cover me.
Show back and forth with the flow, this shit ugly.
Heavyweight, killing my competition in every way. Definition to fly, I rhyme and I levitate. Way up in the sky, until I approach heaven's gate. 7 in the match, my nigga, I'm winning 7 straight. This ain't nothing new, my nigga, I do this every day. Go and get your crew or whoever, bet I'ma set them straight. Whoever want what, whoever, my nigga set a date. Whoever want what, whoever,
my nigga set a date.
Yes sir. Yeah. Year to go. Streaming on all platforms. Your boy the favorite, go check that out. Also check out the video Won't Change. See it on the pages. Press play, like, share, all that good stuff. Wee, bonbons, and all that good stuff.
Woo! You are in the house with Native Son, Hash and Show. Just went in for you. They just ate that thing alive. That was amazing. You were in for a treat if you just witnessed and got to pay. Well, I can't even think of the word. I lost the word, man. I lost the word. That's a big thing. If you didn't know, you're in the house with Native Son. I'm going to go look for this other track. While we are doing that, I want to let you know that you should never give up, never give in, always do your thing. People might tell you that, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, but just leave them right where they at. Never hang up your hat. Keep on going forward. Native Son, produced by the 7th. They try to tell you that you're too old, too young, too this, too that. Man, tell them shut the fuck up. This is hip-hop. Man, forever live. Who knows how much more time you got? Alright. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. You thought I was finished? This is Hang Your Hat Up by Native Son. Produced by the 7th letter, Native Son and the 7th letter. That's both me. I produced this, recorded it, rapping on it, blah blah blah. 2 fingers with a fist and a head up. I'm tired of the silver lining, silver screen, a different time, and feel I couldn't compete. But now I'm feeling fine, feeling now I'm born, I'm feeling complete. More information, more maintenance, more like a moors and needing to be awakened. More filling up the shores, for sure there was a weight shift. Rise like the tide, I'm concentrated, weightless. Paper planes, never fold even for mutual gains. Remember who you are and why you came in the game. No matter what you do, they gon' look at you strange. Alright, yeah. Okay. 1 NATV SON1 in the house with Native Son. That is a podcast. Make sure you're tuning into my podcast. Check out those episodes. We're talking about what's going on political. We're talking about what's going on in these games. Whatever it is, you already know we're trying to help you maintain.
Another age in it. History, filling the page in it. Filling the space with appreciation and gratefulness. Only get better, you can never take away from his integrity. Aptitude is what you take away from this. Could you ever see yourself a patriot? I mean, sail across the seas and claim you made some shit. Then try to use a nigga cause you're lazy and his face was tint. Like bronze or the black is black. Like right before the peak of dawn comes a race again. Heard it through the grapevine like a raisin head. Try to shrivel up my juice like a raisinette. We press wine, then we raise and tip. We all in. Supreme God, earth, and the fruit within. Shit. We're only getting started.
We just getting started. If you didn't know where you was at, you are in the house. Now we get it in and get it done. when we come into the building. If you didn't know, Juneteenth, this is what I had to say.
George Floyd, those luminous moments you couldn't avoid. The precipice of ignorance deployed. The rage, the passing of the days, and the statement, this will never be okay, plays out on a world stage. Warriors rolling loud on a crusade. Black lives matter, what else is there to say? Justice now for Elijah McClain. Lethal doses being administered through media, keeping you interested, feeling can't calm your brain to create a thing. And dream big, 5 points that will always remain. Harlem of the West is only one of its names. Shine bright, all light, I'm only one of its flames. Who am I to act like only one of us can? I kneel, stand, left foot forward, fist up on my right hand. I move across the lands, satisfying demands. Man on earth is the key to the brand. 2 magic words, observe, I am. Any statement that follows is a binding anthem.
Germany, and it was local cats who actually inspired me to start rhyming, and my older brother, he was in a group, so I just took it on at an early age and started rhyming. The only way to get better at it is to do it and do it and then do it some more, and then go. And that's it, man. Just repetition.
Repetition, repeating what you do when you do. I don't know about you, I'm feeling good. We've heard some wonderful music. We've learned a few things about Manson Musa. We've brought your energy levels up. That means up. I'm sitting here, I'm waiting patiently, getting everything together. We're doing, once again, a brief Q&A. We got Show in the building. He talked about what brought him into music. You know what I'm saying? I see a special package just arrived just for me. I need to be open and ready to receive. Let me because we got more show just for you as we continue along this road here in the house with Native Son. So, Show, what can the people expect to see from you going forward? Where can they find your music?
Oh, you can find my music on all streaming platforms under the name Show. And in the future, man, expect more music. I don't know what that looks like. I don't rush nothing. I don't rush inspiration. So whenever it comes, it comes. I could have a project or just be a bunch of features. Or I know me and this cat are only going to be doing some more stuff. So that's a definite. But other than that, I don't know yet. Whatever happens.
All right, thank you. Such a wonderful answer, man. I appreciate you. First and foremost, I appreciate you for stopping through. And if you didn't know, we drink Douce when you're in the house with Native Son. Everybody done had their good shot, took a sip, put a little cup to their lip, and is feeling good. Got a little heat in their belly and feeling all right. We don't promote that you do it, but if you need to do it and need to get through it and need something that's smooth and fluent, pick up a bottle of that Douce. Like, okay! Hash and Show in the building. I appreciate their presence. I don't know about you. I don't know how I'm feeling, but I pray that you are doing well. I am glad that you decided to tune in today in the house with Native Son. We got Hash and Show. They're gearing up to do the final performance. That means right now you need to go and get who you need to go and get, because we're about to get it. This is going to be your final opportunity to see them doing their thing until next weekend on Saturday, where you need to tune in with my guy Hash, where they'll be dropping, talking about the album. They'll have special guests coming out to perform for you. I will be hosting. I go by the name of Native Son. That is 1NATVSON1. We get sit done. You already know how it is when we gotta get on the MIC. Look, I just stopped so you would say something. Somebody do something. Somebody put an angry face. Somebody say something. Somebody say, man, that guy there, he's dookie. I don't mind that. Just say something. Say something. I want to see your beautiful smile. I pray that you're smiling there at home. It don't matter what you're doing as long as you ain't adding to your own ruin. We got the beats you need. You are going to be ready to receive. I got to let my bro know that I did receive the beat. We're going to hear how it goes like that. When you look at my life.
Produced by the 7.
Like, oh!
Is that the wrong one?
Like, oh! Like, oh! Like, oh!
If you look through my life and see what I've seen.
Make sure y'all go check that out. We greatly appreciate it. Now the mixtape too. Bring it back to the top. I'm like, everything is fine. I don't need advice. I got rhymes in the key of life. So play whatever note in the key you like. Not a whole lot to choose from, only black or white. I hear a lot of rappers, none of them rapping right. Ride the wave, nobody create. See, that's bad advice. Couldn't find a lane straight to fame. Now we mad at life. Ever since I was a youngster, I was taught to pass the mic. We grew up on hard times, never really had it light. But we found a way to beat the odds. If you add it right, Trump disguised white supremacy behind the MAGA life. And you don't have a problem with it. You claim it as bragging rights, and I be like,
except the casket, dog. Should've stayed in school and playing basketball. Wasn't no peer pressure. Shit, I want a gold necklace. Ice independent, resting right on my solar plexus. We was getting money, moving major weight. I'm from a place where you can ball if you play it straight. A quarter brick broken into eights. I paid 5 for it, whipped it up and made 14K. The day my brother died, the last time I cried. You see the pain in my eyes like it's time to ride. Got me thinking homicide, niggas open fire. Apply pressure like it's do or die. Black. Here we go. I see you weed, I see you LD.
There you have it. Hash and Show. When you look at my life. Look, you singing it right now. I caught ya. I caught ya. I know you was. You at home right now. So when you look at my life. Yeah, I got you. One another wonderful thing. We're gonna go ahead and let this beat. We're gonna let this beat go ahead and play in the background while we continue to talk to Hash and Show about life from their perspective. Get a couple more questions in, seeing how they're doing, checking in with them, because ultimately that's what matters here on this show is the guest. The guest is always first, and you will find that same philosophy within Dini al-Islam. Is that true or is that untrue, my brother Hash? What do you got to say about that?
God is first. Then everything falls after that.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Show, before we go, we are going to need last messages for the people. What you have to say in closing, in terms of closing, all right? Let's say, you got to get it out to the people. This is the last time they may hear or see you. What would you say to them?
I would say keep God first and always have an outlet. And just stay true to what you know and what you believe, and don't let anybody else steer you in any other direction other than where God wants to take you.
There it is. Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige. Let me tell you about myself. See, my name is Native Son. That is one NATVSON1. Yeah, I get it done. I don't need a 2, 3. Anytime you see me, best believe I do me. Please be prepared to be edutained. That's just how I do it when I'm coming off of the brain. And I add some gain so you can hear, so you know it's clear. And I see no more tears. Pioneer of a brand new age and section. Wait a minute, got kid your best protection. I ain't make it, you already know what it is, so why you hating? One NATVSON1 dot. Live if you want to live, cause what else does a brother really got to give? I done gave you everything. Now bring your body to the next show. That was Hash's show. We're talking year ago. I just went spitting on the beat. I'm sorry I did that. You're in the house with Native Son. We're getting our last statements in. We just talked to show. I'm never going to pass the weed. I'm never going to pass anything. I don't pass the ball. I keep it all to myself because I am selfish. I'm just playing. If you know me, you know I'm selfless, if anything. So I had to bring the beat back just the same way I had to bring the street back. And if you got that whack shit, you can keep that, cause I eat that. Minutes flat, a seconds. You know I'm wrecking. You stepping to the session. You bet you brought a weapon. I didn't. I got these hands and I still choke the shit out you, nigga. I don't give a fuck, no, I don't doubt you, nigga. I just know I got the skills and appeal to keep going on that wheel, motherfucker. Get it, yeah, right now. I don't need to say nothing. All right. So, Hash, in closing, what is your final statement to the people?
Make sure y'all get out there and vote, man. That's important. That's my final statement. Everybody make sure you get out there and vote, man. That's critical. And not just on the presidential level, but on all levels of government, local and federal.
You heard it right there. Get out there and vote. And if we're voting on drinks in the house with Native Son, you already know what it is, what we sipping on. It's do say. Mix that up with ginger ale or ginger beer to get a nice little thing and clear. It tastes delicious. I first had it in the motivation room with my brother here on the motivation tour when we were VIP backstage with Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my brother Hash. You know how we move and we do. We really live it. We really do it. Shout out to Denver, Colorado. All the opportunities and wonderful groups that work so hard to bring such wonderful edutainment. We're just trying to highlight that. Shout out to Live Nation. I've got a few checks with them. I really appreciate them. I hope all the staff is doing well. They're in furlough. I keep trying to kick them ideas. They're like, man, we're in furlough. We just, so really, we're just shouting out to everybody, all the venues. Shout out to the Summit. Shout out to the Fox Theater in Boulder. If you know right now, you can go and donate. They need your help. They put together packages, $10,000, $5,000, $1,000 packages. Help Fox and Boulder Theater. I have performed there before with the likes of Talib Kweli and other assorted artists. It's a wonderful place in Boulder. If you know, it's beautiful up there, and we want to keep the culture alive for CU Boulder. So if you get the chance, please donate to Fox Theater. Shout out to Boulder Theater from the heart of Native Son. That's one NATVSON1. You see the logo. I want to shout out Chuck D and Public Enemy. They also dropped a new project. It's called What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down. Chuck D never hesitates to shout me out or take a moment to read what I need him to receive, and for that I am eternally grateful. You know, we honor the legends around here, so I wanted to shout out him, that recent album that he just dropped, for checking in the house with Native Son and show me he's appreciated. And to let you know, Chuck D originally designed the Public Enemy logo that's known across the world right now. We were celebrate that through his rap station, radio station. If you didn't know, he has his own radio station. Tune in with him. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't mind playing the correct artist if you have the correct means to get to him. But anyways, aside of that, saying Public Enemy drawing their own logo is a big thing to me, because as you can see, this shirt that I wear right here, this shirt that my brother Hash right here printed out in for me. If you need any shirt services, you can also reach out to him. You know, working out, these are residual services you can receive, but we need you to land onto their platforms, on the Hash's platform, on the show's platform. We shouldn't have to consistently explain to you, because the expectation is that you are an adult, you research and study those people you involve your time with, and so we hope you do the same, because we're all legit. I go by the name of Native Son. This is registered with the Patent Office, the United States Patent Office. I drew this logo myself, Native Son. I had my guy Tim Boots create it into a smoother animation. He did that. Shout out to Tim Boots. It is now nationally recognized. If I didn't do anything in this life, Native Son is a real deal. We're here with appeal. We like doing business. We are open to do business. You want to set up some shows, let me know. You need a host, keynote, let's talk. Let's stop playing games. You can see that I do it easy without even a second thought or a second brain. So let's arrange something right now. You know the number, you know the sites. 1NATVSON1.live if you want to live. 1NATVSON1.info if you need to know. Hash and Show, where can the people find you before we go and close with the remaining 15 things about Mansa Musa?
You can find me on Instagram, show_AKA Mike Tyson. And you can find me on Facebook at LaVarn Show Sarvis. And I'm on all streaming platforms under the name Show. SHOW. And no.
Oh, Hollywood Show over here. Yeah, you can just find me on hashgotbars.com. And once you go to hash.gotbars.com, you can find the links to all my social media. You can take a scroll through my website, take a look at my merch that I have on there. You can watch our videos on there and, you know, do a few things to tap in with the movement.
Hash and Show had to step into the house with Native Son. So what you talking about? Better watch your mouth and all of the shit that's coming out. If you didn't know, it's here to go. There is no doubt, no shadows. It's all light, all right, all hype. You niggas is, but best believe we going all night. Native Son in the house with Native Son. Hash and Show. I appreciate y'all stopping through. We're gonna go ahead and close out the rest of this with 15 things you may not have known about Mansa Musa. We listened to it earlier. We let it play for a little bit. You got introduced to it for a while. I don't know if you felt comfortable with it. I don't know where you were at with it, where it sits with you. But Mansa Musa is an important figure in history. Everybody's always talking about these rich guys and that rich guy, and I will not say their names because they're not worthy of mention, and not as much as Mansa Musa is, or these other wonderful figures that we have all throughout our history, even such as Hash and my brother Show. Wonderful figures. If you can, one time stand up and let me see the sweaters you guys got on. Can I see the merch? Let's show the people the merch. This is Survival 7. This is a brand that Hash has. You can get merch on hashgotbars.com. You can find this merch, Survival 7 by Hash and Show. If you would like to pick up some merch, let these brothers know. Go find them on social media. Inbox me. Say, hey, where can I find those guys? Hey, where can I find their music? Hey, where am I at right now? I'll be like, I don't know, man. You should know where you're at right now. I don't know what you're doing, but peace be unto you. I'm just in the house with Native Son. I'm just trying to get to a comfortable spot to let them continue telling you all about Mansa Musa, 15 things. They talked about 5. We stopped on 6. We're trying to jump back in on 6. Who knows if I got timing like that? Let's see where exactly we're at.
Alexandria burned, with over 1 million manuscripts and the capacity of housing 25,000 students.
In the house with Native
Number
Son.
4.
We're closing
His
out with
empire
some
was the
history
largest
on
gold
Mansa
producer
Musa.
in the
15
world.
things you might not have known.
With great knowledge and power comes great fortune. The Mali Empire had a huge advantage of residing along the Niger River and the Niger Delta. Every successful empire started out with a good river because water means life, food, and trade. That's exactly what they did to prosper. They traded salt and gold to others while growing crops and sustaining life. By the time he became the Emperor of Mali and began conquering more and more territories, more and more people had already heard about him and his kingdom. With a good location and opening up to the Atlantic Ocean, they managed to turn Mali into one of the biggest trading regions in the world. They were selling gold and salt at a time where Europe was struggling to obtain and hold both of them. Opportunity surely was their best weapon. Number 5. He became the richest man to ever live with a net worth of over $400 billion. Trading with gold and owning so much land made Mansa Musa the richest emperor of the Mali Empire and the richest man that ever lived. His wealth is estimated to have been around $400 billion, which is 4 times the net worth of Jeff Bezos, the richest man today. Some people consider him the richest man in the world because most sources from that time ranked him that way. We'll never precisely know if he was really that rich or not. It's kind of impossible. But keeping in mind all the achievement we listed so far, it doesn't seem that far-fetched. I mean, just wait until you hear about the extravagant things he did and how he traveled, and you be the judge of his fortune. Number 6. Like all big people in history, he had some haters too. When you're famous and loved by many people, you're bound to have a couple of haters as well. You can't possibly please everyone, and that's when the problems begin. Mansa Musa was well known in his kingdom and throughout Africa. He was rich, fierce, powerful, and a luxury lover. He always traveled in style, wearing the finest and most expensive clothing. In his pilgrimage to Mecca, he stayed in Egypt where he spent a lot of money and caused some serious damage. Besides that, he almost feuded with the Sultan al-Nasir because Mansa Musa was too critical of him. Nothing bad happened between them, but they were both close to bursting. Keep in mind that diplomacy and religion never play nicely together. Number 7. His massive fortune was dismantled after 2 generations. When you have as much money as Mansa Musa had, over $400 billion, it seems impossible to spend it all. No matter how much you build and travel, there are still billions to spend, and if you invest that money, like most rich people do, the net worth is bound to grow year after year. However, unfortunately for Mansa Musa's descendants, the fortune was somehow dismantled in less than 100 years. The 2 generations that followed him weren't able to control their spending, the wars and invasions that followed, so it all went downhill. After his pilgrimage, it's no surprise that everyone came upon them to get their hands on the gold, especially Europeans, which were facing harsh famine and poverty at the time. Number 8. The date of his death is still unknown. Mansa Musa was the 10th ruling sultan of the Mali Empire. He was a beloved emperor and one of the most important figures in the history of the continent. A dedicated Muslim, he brought in many Arab storytellers and historians to have their story written for prosperity and generations to come. The biggest problem with this was that his death date is now unknown, or at least debatable. There's a gap period between 1325 and 1337 in which historians can't tell when he actually died. Some say it was right after his pilgrimage. Some say it was after his son took the throne. Multiple sources means multiple theories. Number 9. He went on an extravagant and expensive pilgrimage for 2 years to Mecca. One of the most famous things Mansa Musa is known for doing is the expansion of the Mali Empire and his pilgrimage to Mecca. As a Muslim, you have to go at least once in your life to Mecca, so he did as the Quran says. His pilgrimage to Mecca took 2 years because they didn't have modern means of transportation to get there, 4,000 miles away from home. He took 1,000 attendants, 100 camels loaded with gold, plenty of the emperor's own personal musicians, and 500 slaves bearing gold staffs. His epic pilgrimage was done in style and suited for an emperor, of course. It simply would not have been royal enough to take a modest carriage to Mecca. This shows again just how rich he actually was. Number 10. He built the unique mosque of Djinguereber, which still stands today. One of the landmarks that still stands today as proof of his existence is the unique mosque of Djinguereber, which was completed in 1327. The ancient Mali city close to the Niger River. The whole construction took over 2 years to finalize, and approximately 45 kilograms of gold, aka $1.7 million. The man behind the design was paid 200 kilograms of gold for his work. The building is now part of the University of Timbuktu and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Since it's so old and made out of natural elements, the building is in danger due to sand erosion. The mosque was also subject of a terrorist attack in 2012 by the Defenders of Faith, who claim that the shrine is a sin and therefore should be destroyed. And Laxers, if you're interested in learning some more about another African billionaire, why not click in the top right corner to watch our video, The 15 Things You Didn't Know About Aliko Dangote. Number 11. His life might be turned into a blockbuster movie. Some exciting news to come out of 2018 for African people might be the fact that Mansa Musa's life could be turned into a movie. The famous Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are joining forces to bring the life and story of Mansa Musa I to the screen. It's a contribution to the Black community and a tribute to the great emperor and the richest man in the world. This duo has some great movies behind them and have been working together for quite some time now. Their film will most probably focus on the pilgrimage to Mecca, the conquering, the incomparable wealth, and the urbanization of Timbuktu. Luckily for them, Africa offers a lot of sets, and most of them have been untouched by office buildings and urbanization. The movie should be a definite success. Number 12. His empire was a very safe place for anyone. Nowadays, people avoid traveling in some parts of the world because of crime rates, violence, and war. Here we are in 2018, and we still can't enjoy all the marvelous places, cultures, and regions of the world because it's simply not safe. Back in the 14th century, things weren't so different either, except for the Mali Empire. Ibn Battuta, a renowned Moroccan traveler-writer who traveled extensively through Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, was highly impressed by the peace and security he experienced during his visit in Mali because it was a very safe territory. Travelers, visitors, citizens, and traders were living peacefully because robbers and violent people were shown no mercy. Radical measures do pay off sometimes, but we don't live in the medieval era anymore. Number 13. He was included in the Catalan Atlas. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca was the event that made him famous all over the world. After people heard how he traveled and how he spent his money, they wanted to know him, see him, and make business with him. Of course, there were also some that wanted to rob him because he had a lot of gold and precious minerals. He was included in the famous Catalan Atlas in 1375, one of the most important world maps of medieval Europe. He also sparked a lot of controversy and interest for the Spanish, Portuguese, and Germans. He shaped the entire European view of Mali as a place of splendor, wealth, and sophistication they could get their hands on. Number 14. His spending led to the gold inflation in Egypt. We mentioned that his pilgrimage to Mecca was quite a travel expense and news to the world. It got him very far, but it also affected some parts of Africa too. Some stories mention he used to gift his travel companions and unfortunate ones. There's a quote mentioning that, "At each halt, he would regale us with rare foods and confectionery. His equipment and furnishings were carried by 12,000 private slave women, wearing gowns of brocade and Yemeni silk." Another story of his travel puts him into financial difficulties. Due to his spending and donations in Egypt, he actually caused mass inflation on the market. It took the city of Cairo years to fully recover from the currency crisis Mansa Musa created during his stay. That's the real Wolf of Wall Street right there. Number 15. Some people compare him with T'Challa from Black Panther. Since he was African, the only resemblance they could find was T'Challa from Black Panther. The Marvel movie was highly successful, so we understand where the comparison comes from. So, let's break it down. They both protected their land and their precious resources. They both built a lot and invested in education. They were both envied by others, and they're both still famous way after their career ended. Maybe Black Panther will get some more squeals and cameos so he can win over Mansa Musa and his great newfound reputation. After all the comparisons and billions we mentioned here, we bet you're motivated to go out there and do your best to make your first million. We've seen that history shows us again and again how some of the richest people made the same mistakes or choices. It's easy to judge from the outside, but what do you guys think? Was he really as amazing and great as he's portrayed to be by historians? Let us know your opinion in the comments section below. And as always, for being with us all the way to the end, you know you get a bonus fact. And this is a gooder. Number 16. With his fortune, the following things would be possible. The extravagant fortune of Mansa Musa I
from Rockford, Jungle and Rima, gal of them round the road. See if you want Kingston 30 in a shout. Around, a 3 mile roundabout. Make me see the hand them without a doubt. Me say it was under the sycamore tree. A boy want me bow, and me tell him to flee. I tell you it was under the sycamore.
Right in. 1-8BSON1. Peace, love, and blessings to everybody who stepped into this session. I know you've been searching for answers, but life gets so much better once you find the question. I go by the name of Native Son. We just got done. You've been in the house. We're getting ready to go ahead and click this end button. I pray everybody's safe and well.